we have Dr. Jeffery. Please, Dr. Jeffery, I wanted to leave, but I'm going to give you the mic. So, Dr. Jeffery, I am very, very pleased that you accepted to be one of the speakers in this space today. You can now take up the mic. We are all ears. Thank you.
Greetings, everybody. This is Jeffrey Guterman. I am a supporter of Peter Obi for president of Nigeria. At the same time, I respect and seek to understand the perspectives of other people. So that's all I have to say. Obi is the only choice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I respect the fact that you say you always listen to the perspective of other people. It's very important. But I will tell you that you are supporting a very wrong cause. A very, very wrong cause in the sense that I don't know how conversant are you with the Nigeria's affair. But however conversant you are about Nigeria, I would like to point out some of the key factors that will make you to know that you are supporting a wrong choice. Nigeria, from the amalgamation, has been a very wrong decision from the British. The British government, as that time, knowing fully well that Nigeria were never one. We have different culture, different languages, and there were killings before the 1914 amalgamation. After that, going to 1945, we had the first pogrom against the Igbo-speaking part of the eastern Nigeria in the north. After that first pogrom in the north in 1945, going to 1960, the crisis that demonstrated the disunity and dangerous diversity begin to manifest. A man called Odumegwu Ojukwu saw tomorrow and decided that he cannot continue to see his people being killed at every given provocation in the northern Nigeria. And everybody knows how the history of 1967 to 1970 Biafra War happened. But before then, before the independence of Nigeria, the northern Nigeria that are majority of Muslims, they didn't agree for the independence of Nigeria. They didn't want independence. And I believe for the fear of the unknown, the British government from the beginning favored them. Every decision that has been made about Nigeria, the interest of the Fulani in the north has always been the first in consideration. So they have to consider whether this particular decision is going to favor the north or not. After that, when they have seen that it's favorable to the north, they will allow such decision to take place through a third party from the Nigeria Southern or the Eastern region, or from the South, we call it today. Now, why I want to point out at this is that I know you know all these histories. Now, let me fast forward to 1989. In 1989, there was something we called the Abuja Declaration. Abuja Declaration was a conference of Muslims nation coming to Nigeria to have a conference. In that conference, a resolution were made, resolution were reached, and the resolution became what we know today as Abuja Declaration, where it was agreed that in the pursuit of the Islamic State, that the Nigeria state and of course by extension, every other part of Africa, will be given appointment to the Muslims, and in all strategic positions, the Muslims should be appointed first before considering any other religion, especially in Nigeria, because Nigeria become the interest nation. From that time, 1989, till today, I am here to tell you today, Dr. Jeffery, that not just they have achieved this declaration of 1989, but that they have perfected it over 100%. It is the reason today the executive arm of the government of Nigeria is controlled by Muslims, Fulanis. The immigration, the custom, the National Assembly, the police, the military, the civil defense, the oil and gas sector, the central bank, everything in Nigeria is now being run by the northern Muslim. And this is not, I'm going to allow you to make a comment. Just a moment. This is not something that is hidden. It is everywhere. The Boko Haram that is killing people today, the government of Nigeria continue to push for this particular 1989 declaration, Abuja Declaration. The Boko Haram have captured the North Nigeria. They're now in quest to make sure that the Abuja Declaration become the law of Nigeria. They went to Egypt. The current president of Nigeria went to Egypt, where he announced that every Fulani from Africa is welcome to Nigeria without visa, and that they are planning to take over Nigeria and make Nigeria their own nation. This is information that is available to the public. So what I'm trying to tell you today, Dr. Jeffery, is that from 1970 till date, the Fulani government, the Islamic State that were hidden in Nigeria, even before the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, Islamic State was already being built up in Nigeria, what you see today. From 1970 to date, the Fulani government has restructured Nigeria in a way that this particular Abuja Declaration has been perfected today. And we understand that P2B, probably when you look at the three candidates that are running for the three major political parties and their candidates, you will find out that P2B is better than Tinubu, P2B is better than Atiku, but P2B is not better than Biafra people, and P2B is not better than our freedom. Now, we understand that P2B have no influence and can never have the power, according to the Nigeria Constitution, which is subjected to amendment through the National Assembly. P2B don't have that power to restructure Nigeria that Fulani have structured, to make them to become the MD, the DG of the petroleum, the DG, Controller of Immigration, the DG of Custom, the commanders in the army, police, and of course, the National Assembly that have the highest number of Muslims, and from the East, only few people are representing the region. So there is no way P2B can make any change. That Fulani, it took Fulani over 30 years to restructure Nigeria. So while we are fighting for the restructuring of Nigeria, Fulani have already restructured Nigeria. P2B was busy doing container business and doing banking and finance to make money. Fulani already restructured Nigeria. So when he come back now with his money, to go into politics as a governor of Anambra State. The whole country has been ravaged and taken over by the Islamic State that you see today. So, Dr. Jeffery, having considered all this point, which is very, very brief, and the other things that if we go into the analysis, you are going to understand better. Having understand that our people are being killed every day and P2B has never condemned them. Having understood that in P2B's town, people have been killed by Fulani terrorists. P2B have not condemned them. All these things put together, plus the descendants of other people and what I've seen in Nigeria system today, we are making the choice that P2B, if a Nigeria is a Nigeria, a better country, that we are going into politics, of course, we are going to say, let us make the choice that is available. But that is not the best choice for Nigeria, because there are people that are more brilliant, more educated, more leadership-oriented people than P2B that are supposed to come and say they want to lead Nigeria, but Nigeria is a dead and collapsed country. So for this reason, Mr. Jeffrey, we are saying that this is the time for us to be like Europeans. This is the time for us to be like America. This is the time for us to disintegrate along tribal line so that we can enjoy what you are enjoying in the West. We want to disintegrate along tribal line. I want you to understand that from your name, Jeffrey Gutterman, those who know where you come from already know your country. Your country may be very few, may have like a couple of millions of people as the citizens. But before that, you were not just, I don't know which country you come from, but whichever country you come from, we want to disintegrate along tribal line like the Europeans, like you have in Scandinavia, like you have the Soviet Union disintegrated. We want that disintegration. You cannot continue to support somebody just because you are benefiting from them, or just because you want to get a contract from the federal government, or just because by proxy, by third party, you benefit from the Nigeria government, and then to the impoverishment of the people of Biafra. And today, the Russia have cut the gas from the European Union, and they are running to Nigeria. And the place, the region where this gas is coming from, they are being killed. There is genocide taking place, and the European Union are not speaking about it. But they are interested in the oil, and they don't want to know how the life of the people of that region, how they live their life. And all they see is to support P2B so that they will continue to subjugate the people in that region to poverty. And in return, they will still give money back to Nigeria as aid. Jeffrey, we can do better in Biafra. We can do better, and you know it. That is the reason why, for us to have lasting peace in Africa and the Sahel region, because Nigeria has become the highest sponsor of terrorism in the entire Africa, because that's where they make their money to begin to impose the Islamic State. For us to end this and to safeguard your country and your new generation to come from the attack of Nigeria, if they later become like Afghanistan, Dr. Jeffrey, the best thing for you to do is to support the best interest of the people of Nigeria, not an individual as P2B. The best interest of the people, indigenous people in Nigeria today, is that everybody is tired and Nigeria has expired. So look for those, how you can support the best interest of the people of Africa, so that those who are seeking asylum in your country will go back and develop their country. Mr. and Dr. Jeffrey, you can now pick up the mic. I don't want to waste time to address you, because I know you have probably a lot about Nigeria, and that's why you even know who is called P2B and supporting him. So go ahead if you want to say one or two things before we end up the space. And I must thank you for coming and, airing your own opinion here. I see that your hands has been up, and you put it down. So you have the mic again, Dr. Jeffrey.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. I don't have anything else to say. I'm not sure what you want to accomplish besides telling me that Peter Obi cannot be, will not be the next president.
What I want to accomplish is independent state of Biafra.
Okay. All I can say to that is, do you realistically believe that's going to happen?
Why don't I believe it will not happen? Why do you think it is not going to happen?
How is that going to happen?
It is going to happen because we are going to stop election in Biafra land. We are going to stop Nigeria from conducting election in Biafra land. Well, you cannot. Do you support the killing in Africa?
No, I do not.
So why, if you don't support the killing in Africa, why don't you support what will end the killing?
Why don't I support what, sir?
Why don't you support what will end the killing?
I'm not sure that would end the killing.
You are not sure, but you have to try it. You have to try it.
Do you know? Don't have to try it. No.
Okay. Do you know what ended the killing in Soviet Union and the crisis in Soviet Union?
But thank you for sharing, sir.
No, I am just. You have to teach us, because you know there is something you know that we don't know. So if you think it is not going to solve the problem, can you tell us what ended the crisis in Soviet Union?
No, but I'm asking. Are you really going to be able to become independent?
Yes, we are able to become independent without your interference.
Okay, I'm not going to argue or debate it. Go for it.
Thank you. So you have to support us. You cannot support a president of Nigeria.
I do. No.
What interest do you have? What is your interest in Nigeria for supporting P2B?
I wrote an article, and it explains why I support Peter.
So can you give us just brief why you have interest in Nigeria?
Well, that is a kind of a long story, but the short answer is that I started going to international spaces on Twitter. I started going more and more to the Nigerian spaces, and then Nigerians started coming to my spaces. And then I was very, very disturbed. This was about 4 or 5, I think 6 months ago. The massacre at the church in Owo disturbed me very much. Mm-hmm. And then all I kept hearing was Peter Obi.
Oh, I understand.
So wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. I looked at the 3 candidates, and I saw that he's the only choice. And you don't have to agree with me, but you asked me a question. It happened gradually, and then suddenly I became obedient. It's the God's honest truth. So
okay, I understand. Okay. So in that sense,
thank you for sharing.
Thank you. In that sense, Dr. Jeffrey, just one moment, please. Dr. Jeffrey, you see, I like your honest. You are very, very honest. You are honest in the sense that you don't have the history of Nigeria. So I was thinking that, I am communicating with somebody who have history of Nigeria or who knows something about Nigeria. So you are actually coming from the perspective of somebody who is ignorant of Nigeria. So I can understand that you just watch the space and then you pick 3 candidates. Of course, anybody who don't know Nigeria will pick P2B. I agree with you. But I am not trying to tell you that for you to make such decision, to put your support behind somebody, you should know the history of that country. You should know the history of what you are delving into. Now, you do not have the history. You don't know the history of P2B. You only know that P2B is a better candidate among the 3 candidates. That is not enough. Today, I believe that now you should.
Sir, I understand that there was civil war.
It is not just about the civil war. It is about what I call the dangerous. Yeah, it is about the dangerous diversity, Mr.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand your perspective. Nobody knows. There are different views. Okay, this is my view. If you think I'm ignorant, fine.
No, I know. What I'm saying, your view is fine.
I'm ignorant of the history, and I am.
Yes, you are. That is point. So when you come here,
sir.
you know, so
But
please, Dr. Jeffery, Dr. Jeffery, I respect you, and you know, this is how we sound in Africa. So I'm not like, you know, raising my voice on you. So what is?
I wish you best, and I wish the people of Biafra.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Always come to listen to us because we have different, you know, issues to discuss all the time in this space. So always come so you can get new information about what is going on in Nigeria and why Nigeria should disintegrate and why.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'll be looking.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Biafra people, we are ending here today, and we are very pleased and happy to see Dr. Jeffery was part of this space today, and we look forward to having him again in the next segment of this discussion. Thank you very much, everyone, and see you all in 1 hour or two on our Enter Biafra channel, YouTube channel, and other platforms. Thank you very much. Goodbye.